It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Fear is not the absence of respect, but the recognition of consequences. Your mind is a throne, and fear is the shadow that waits at every corner, poised to claim authority if you show hesitation. Every moment of doubt is an enemy scout probing your defenses. Each missed decision, each delay in action, allows fear to consolidate power and diminishes the kingdom of your self-command. Do not mistake comfort for safety. The battlefield is constant and the unseen opponent strikes when you relax. A single misstep in judgment invites subversion. A leader who fails to recognize these forces becomes a subject of circumstance, not a ruler of strategy. Your awareness is your spear. Your decisions are the shield that guards the throne of your mind. Observe hesitation in yourself and others. Every pause can be exploited. Fear, as the invisible opponent, tests resolve more than overt attack ever could. Living unmastered, your life fragments into concessions you never intended to give, little by little surrendering sovereignty to those who act decisively. The mundane anxieties of social interaction, career setbacks, or reputational tension are skirmishes on this mental battlefield. Command your perception, name the fear and assess it with clarity. The man who remains calm in disagreement demonstrates authority without raising a voice. He turns opposition into a display of control. Every encounter is a chance to fortify your throne. Even the most powerful leaders operate on the edge of fear, balancing prudence and audacity with precision. Your presence, deliberate and controlled, signals that you occupy the heights of self-rule. Confront doubt with measured action. Anticipate resistance and establish boundaries as fortifications, not prisons. Your gaze, posture, and restraint are weapons. They project an untouchable aura that disarms and commands respect simultaneously. Recognize that fear belongs to no one but the unprepared. Mastery converts it into a tool rather than a master. Claim your throne before the world challenges you. Let each decision reinforce your dominion. Every pause, every hesitation is a potential siege. Act swiftly, act decisively, and occupy your place at the apex of your own mind. Command yourself and fear obey. Your mind is a fortress, and within its walls, fear either kneels or conquers. Every thought is a sentry. Every hesitation a breach waiting to be exploited. To crown yourself as the sovereign of your mind is to claim the first victory in the war for your life. Indecision is the silent assassin. It corrodes authority and hands your throne to unseen enemies. Guard your thoughts like gold, for they are the currency of command. Negative patterns, doubts, and unchallenged beliefs are the spies that infiltrate silently, undermining resolve before you step onto the battlefield of action. Observe the dialogue in your head as if you were a general inspecting troops. Identify weaknesses and reinforce positions with unwavering discipline. Ruling before others rule you means mastering the inner landscape so that external threats cannot manipulate, intimidate, or control your response. When confronted with dissent, remain unmoved. Listen deliberately and assert calm authority. A single measured gesture can dismantle an attempted challenge without escalating conflict. Every plan begins in the mind. Every conquest is first imagined. Every empire starts with thought. Hesitate and fear seizes the initiative, embedding itself in patterns that dictate your choices without notice. Take command of your mental throne daily. Prioritize clarity, impose structure on chaotic thoughts, and cultivate a presence that signals sovereignty to yourself before signaling it to others. Weakness in the mind echoes outward, inviting subversion. Strength radiates, deterring interference before it emerges. The unseen adversaries of distraction, uncertainty, and self-doubt are repelled not by force, but by the presence of firm command. Your throne is both seat and shield. Occupy it with consciousness and deliberate action. Every decision made with composure strengthens the walls around your mental citadel. Doubts will arise. Treat them as scouts probing for gaps. Neutralize them with evidence, reason, and decisive acknowledgement. Internal dialogue governs behavior as much as any external mandate. Neglect it, and fear governs silently. Let each thought, each choice, and each act of self-discipline reinforce the sovereignty of your inner kingdom. Rule your mind, and fear obeys. Dawn arrives not as a passive moment, but as a battlefield waiting for its commander. The first light is the strategist's ally, those who act before the world awakens, seize control while others remain disarmed by sleep and hesitation. Strike before the masses stir, for in these early hours your decisions meet the least resistance, and each step carries multiplied effect. Establish morning rituals as war plans. Every movement, every preparation, every choice orchestrated to secure dominance over mind and energy. Meditation, journaling, exercise, or planning are not routines, but reconnaissance missions, fortifying your citadel against the chaos that arrives with distraction. Winning small battles, resisting the comfort of bed, silencing notifications, choosing focus over indulgence creates momentum. Each victory, however minor, is a tactical gain in the campaign for mastery. Laziness is an enemy that multiplies its strength when ignored. Discipline weakens it before it can organize. Consider your environment a contested terrain. Clutter, noise, and digital stimuli are opposing forces attempting to claim your attention. Neutralize them with deliberate placement, silence, and boundaries. When colleagues or family challenge your schedule, respond with calm authority, not agitation, demonstrating that your time is sovereign territory. Weak, reactive mornings surrender power. Strong, proactive mornings expand dominion. Recognize that mastery is cumulative. Micro wins compound into habits that define identity. Each conquered morning is a pawn advancing, a flanking maneuver against mediocrity, a declaration that you command the day before it commands you. Do not allow indecision to dictate movement. Plan, act, and enforce your priorities with precision. Every sunrise is a call to arms, a chance to exercise control over your internal and external battlefield. Those who dominate the dawn dictate the rhythm of the hours that follow, setting tempo, momentum, and morale. Your throne is established with every decisive act before the world stirs. Commit to movement, structure, and strategy, turning each morning into a rehearsal of command, preparation, and victory. Let each early choice echo through the day, asserting authority over circumstance, energy, and focus. Seize the dawn, and the day bows to your command. Weakness is a silent usurper that erodes authority from within. Every hesitation, every indulgence, every flicker of self-doubt is a traitor in the shadows, waiting to topple your throne. The internal purge is relentless. Identify these enemies, confront them without flinching, and remove them before they consolidate power. Softness is the currency of subjugation. Mercy may comfort conscience, but it sows chains. Presence is the silent artillery of power. Your face, your posture, the measured weight of each step becomes the battlefield before words are drawn. The mask of command is forged in restraint and awareness. Every glance, every controlled breath signals dominion. Expressions are weapons. A steady gaze, unbroken by surprise or emotion, disarms challengers before strategy is revealed. Face as battlefield means your very countenance communicates authority, leaving others hesitant to act against you. Controlled energy projects untouchable power. Slow, deliberate movements command attention, implying strength without the need for noise. Rash gestures betray vulnerability, while measured cadence cultivates fearless respect. The invisible throne is imposed by aura alone. When you enter a room, observers bow to perceived supremacy before knowing your plan. Calmness becomes strategy, composure becomes armor, and restraint becomes a visible force that governs interactions silently. In meetings, a single raised brow or a steady pause can redirect disagreement, asserting leadership without confrontation. Weak, frantic speech erodes influence. Strong, poised presence enforces obedience. Maintain awareness of micro-expressions, calibrate posture to assert dominance, and regulate energy to sustain authority. Avoid fidgeting, abrupt motions, and visible uncertainty. They undermine the silent command that presence achieves. The body speaks a language older than words. Learn it, control it, and project it relentlessly. Every step, every gesture, every pause is tactical, shaping perception and bending outcomes to your will. Commanding presence multiplies leverage. Fewer instructions are required. Obedience is anticipated, and respect becomes instinctive. Projecting power through stillness reduces conflict, enhances strategic positioning, and fosters the perception of invulnerability. Authority is not claimed by voice, but earned through disciplined projection of self. Let every movement signal mastery, every silence convey certainty, and every glance impose hierarchy. Fear thrives in anticipation, and presence generates it efficiently. Command without words, and the world obeys. Anticipation is your deadliest weapon. Like a predator surveying the field, you must map enemies before they strike, charting threats that lurk in shadows and beneath smiles. Enemy mapping is the foundation of preemptive dominance. Fear only gains territory when you are caught off guard. Identify internal weaknesses, hesitations, overextensions, and distractions as early warning signals. External threats, the ambitious, the manipulative, the envious, must be recognized before they act. Preemptive action transforms awareness into control. Strike decisively against any element that could destabilize your authority. Address undermining chatter immediately. Correct misinformation before it spreads, and neutralize disruptions with measured precision. Silencing saboteurs requires discretion. Act like a covert operative, moving through a war zone, unseen but effective. Avoid public spectacle. Your strength grows in stealth, not in dramatics. Weak, ignoring warning signs invites chaos. Strong, observing, anticipating, acting before disruption. Manifest secures sovereignty. When a colleague questions your plan in a meeting, respond with calm authority, redirecting attention without aggression, demonstrating control while dissolving dissent. Each action is calculated. Hesitation is vulnerability. Maintain situational awareness at all times, scanning interactions, correspondence, and alliances for signs of emerging threats. Discipline your mind to detect patterns, predict moves, and act surgically. Energy must be controlled. Frantic reactions alert rivals to weaknesses. Silence becomes a tool, patience a weapon, and foresight a shield. Remove distractions efficiently. Emails, interruptions, and social noise become manageable when approached with strategy. Let every decision, every maneuver, be guided by anticipation rather than reaction. Authority is reinforced through timely intervention, not reactionary frenzy. The field is yours when you move before others do, claiming initiative and asserting invisible dominance. Master preemption. Know the threats. Strike quietly. Act decisively. And never allow fear to define the pace. Strike before the shadow reaches you. Fear is a compass pointing toward preparation. Like a wolf sensing the hunt, you must learn to feed on fear rather than recoil from it. Harness anxiety by observing its source. It signals what requires attention, not what limits you. Let the rapid heartbeat, the tension in muscles, and the alert mind guide disciplined action. Each pang of unease is an opportunity to refine strategy, sharpen instincts, and anticipate challenges before they arise. Treat fear as the predator's hunger. Never suppress it, never deny it. Instead, channel it into methodical planning, into the mastery of your environment. When competitors close in, when deadlines loom, when stakes climb higher, let fear fuel preparation rather than paralysis. Transform threat into weapon by converting external pressure into internal strength. Life is a chessboard, and every piece you command represents your influence, your foresight, and your capacity to anticipate the unseen. Each move carries consequence, each hesitation invites exploitation. Foresee every counter by observing patterns, studying tendencies, and imagining reactions before they materialize. Do not simply respond, dictate the tempo. Recognize that opponents, whether colleagues, competitors, or circumstance, act according to predictable impulses. Position yourself where advantage accumulates, silently, where initiative and perception converge. Sacrifice for gain, surrender minor objectives, absorb temporary setbacks, and concede inconsequential ground to consolidate strength elsewhere. The battlefield is rarely won in a single clash. Control comes from cumulative advantage, patience, and timing. When a team member questions a calculated concession, maintain calm authority, explaining that short-term loss secures long-term dominance, and watch resistance dissolve under reasoned strategy. Place every asset, influence, and skill with intent. Weak rushing to react produces chaos. Strong, deliberate placement generates control. Mastery is about position over impulse. Anticipate moves multiple steps ahead, preserving flexibility while constraining your opponent's options. Exploit fear and uncertainty strategically, using subtle leverage rather than force alone. Advance pieces with discipline, retreat only when strategic recalibration demands. Map threats as carefully as opportunities. Understand that sacrifice today amplifies victory tomorrow. Each decision, each maneuver constructs a framework where influence grows and vulnerability contracts. Assess risks without hesitation, knowing that unchecked reaction is weakness and that calculated patience transforms pressure into power. Convert external challenges into opportunities for dominance and internal doubts into clarity of purpose. Let anticipation shape every action, and every calculated concession reinforces authority. Observe, adapt, and maneuver with precision, commanding attention and respect without aggression. Guard your position, exploit missteps, and never allow impulsivity to dictate outcome. Command the board with strategic patience, cultivate foresight as your sharpest weapon, and remember that life favors those who plan, anticipate, and execute with calculated intent. Control the board, and the world bends to your strategy. Discipline is the forge upon which an iron will is crafted, and fear is powerless against a mind tempered like steel. Consistency is armor. Each repetition in your daily ritual builds layers of mental resilience, converting vulnerability into unbreakable resolve. Approach every task, no matter how small, with deliberate precision, and let routine sculpt your character as soldiers shape their bodies for war. Enduring the cold, vulgary discomfort trains both body and mind to withstand external threats. Expose yourself to controlled adversity, an early morning run in harsh conditions, extended focus on a demanding project, or deliberate fasting. These trials condition endurance, sharpen attention, and cultivate the patience required to navigate unforeseen challenges. Mental calluses form when you confront pain without retreat, transforming adversity from a threat into an ally. Each setback becomes a lesson in perseverance, each obstacle a step toward greater mastery. Weak, avoiding discomfort breeds fragility. Strong, seeking challenges cultivates unshakable strength. A colleague questioned the necessity of daily grueling routines, responding with calm authority, demonstrating measurable progress, and explaining that temporary strain fortifies long-term capability. Recognize that fear often preys on untested minds, but a disciplined daily practice inoculates you against panic and hesitation. Frame every moment as a battlefield where patience, repetition, and self-imposed challenge build dominance over circumstance. Train your body to respond without hesitation, your mind to act without distraction, and your spirit to remain steady when chaos strikes. View adversity as ammunition, transform routine into weaponized habit, observe reactions under pressure, analyze outcomes, and adjust tactics without compromising discipline. Guard against complacency by incrementally increasing challenge, ensuring growth and unyielding focus. Let controlled discomfort become familiar, and fear becomes predictable, manageable, and ultimately powerless. Your rituals are the unseen army, your consistency the shield, and your enduring will the spear that strikes precisely when needed. Each day of unwavering practice compounds into a fortress of mental strength, where hesitation cannot survive and fear dares not enter. Embrace repetition, welcome adversity, and let your mind harden like steel forged in relentless fire. Forge yourself unbreakable, and nothing can breach your will. Sovereignty begins within, and once your internal dominion is absolute, no external threat can touch you. Fearless presence radiates from every gesture, every decision, signaling that intimidation has no effect. Move with calm certainty, and others instinctively defer, recognizing authority without questioning it. Commanding without effort becomes natural. Your posture, tone, and attention communicate control without strain. Weak, seeking approval or reassurance. Strong, acting from unwavering self-mastery. Living as an apex predator transforms the dynamic. Those around you become cautious, wary, and deferential because they sense your unshakable confidence. Each interaction becomes a chessboard where your moves are measured, deliberate, and uncontested. In meetings or negotiations, when a colleague challenges a proposal, respond with composed clarity, reaffirming facts and intent, neutralizing dissent without aggression. Project authority through presence and preparation, letting competence and calm dominate over bluster or chaos. Your environment mirrors your internal state. A mind untroubled by fear commands respect effortlessly. Anticipate resistance, absorb tension, and maintain your equilibrium. Others will test limits, but consistency and composure render their attempts futile. Fear itself becomes a tool. You wield it by example, demonstrating mastery that disarms uncertainty. Build routines that reinforce confidence, train perception to detect subtleties, and practice restraint in both speech and action. Observe those around you, adjust strategies, and maintain vigilance, yet act without haste or desperation. Allow your reputation for unyielding resolve to precede you, shaping how others approach and respond. Your choices must reflect the apex predator mindset: calculated, decisive, and self-contained. Repeated demonstration of calm mastery establishes patterns that others cannot challenge without exposing their own weaknesses. Recognize that power resides not in coercion, but in unwavering presence, consistent action, and measured authority. Avoid yielding to provocation. Maintain strategic silence where words are unnecessary. Let every action communicate command, every pause signify control, and every decision reinforce your untouchable state. The apex predator does not hunt recklessly. It asserts dominance through measured observation, timing, and execution. Build layers of discipline, knowledge, and self-possession, so that threats once feared are now inconsequential. With each deliberate step, reinforce the perimeter of your sovereignty, ensuring that intimidation, coercion, or chaos cannot penetrate. Cultivate respect through mastery, not force, and maintain your position through vigilance, adaptability, and restraint. Let fear exist only in those who measure themselves against you, and let your presence be the unassailable standard others unconsciously follow. Rule yourself, and the world cannot rule you. Fear is best mastered when it becomes your tool, not your adversary. Stand at the apex of your life as a sovereign who understands that intimidation, chaos, and pressure are raw materials, not threats. From this throne, every motion you make, every choice you execute, radiates authority. The master's perspective transforms fear into insight, seeing where others hesitate, falter, or crumble. Weak, reacting to tension; strong, calculating the impact of tension before it arises. Each morning is an opening salvo, each ritual a shield, each deliberate action a strike that reinforces the unbroken chain of self-sovereignty. Your discipline compounds, creating momentum that others cannot disrupt. Every habit, from controlled breathing to measured speech, becomes part of a lattice of influence that extends beyond the obvious. Commanding presence is built, not inherited. It is forged in quiet hours of repetition, reflection, and uncompromising self-examination. The final battle is always internal, where doubt, fear, and hesitation are tested and subdued. Facts of human behavior reveal that those who control themselves first can navigate adversity with an untouchable steadiness. In negotiation or confrontation, respond calmly when challenged, letting reason and authority neutralize opposition without aggression. Observe closely, resistance is often rooted in uncertainty, not malice. By acting with deliberate clarity, you assert dominance without conflict. Your throne is a mental fortress. No external threat can breach it once established. Each day, practice mastery in small actions, complete tasks with precision, honor commitments to yourself, and enforce boundaries with quiet firmness. The predator metaphor becomes tangible. You move deliberately, calculate risk, and respond decisively. Let presence replace words, strategy replace reaction, and composure replace agitation. Your authority is contagious. Colleagues, peers, and competitors instinctively follow patterns set by consistent mastery. Discipline becomes armor, patience becomes a weapon, and observation becomes intelligence. Weak impulses are ignored. Calculated actions are executed. The throne of mind is inviolable because it is reinforced by repeated victories over internal resistance. Each victory strengthens the next. Fear is diminished through experience, reflection, and action. By unifying insight, preparation, and execution, you achieve an untouchable state where intimidation, surprise, and chaos hold no sway. Let your life be the manifestation of the principle that true power originates internally. Daily rituals, strategic planning, and mental resilience form a triad of mastery that others sense instinctively. Every step must reinforce your position, every pause must communicate command, and every interaction must reflect your unwavering presence. Even when facing opposition, allow composure to guide response, turning challenges into demonstrations of control. Sovereignty is not declared, it is embodied. Build an architecture of influence that integrates action, observation, and reflection into a coherent system that cannot be undermined. This integration transforms fear from a threat into leverage. The apex throne is attained when mastery over self eclipses all external variables. Fear exists only in those who measure themselves against you. Your actions, measured and deliberate, create an environment where respect, caution, and recognition follow naturally. Discipline, awareness, and strategy converge to make you untouchable. Stand unwavering, command decisively, own your mental fortress, master fear, and you master reality. Fear is a tool, not a master. When left unchecked, it enslaves, corrodes ambition, and reduces life to mere survival. Every day you face choices, pressures, and challenges that test your internal strength. Weakness reacts, mastery responds. Command your mind before circumstances command you. Sovereignty begins internally, in the silent victories over doubt and hesitation. Observe fear closely. It signals opportunity for control, not surrender. Those who succumb allow others to manipulate their actions and intentions. You, however, will act deliberately, shaping reality through calculated presence. Let every decision, ritual, and movement consolidate your authority. Weak trembles at uncertainty. Strong uses uncertainty to reinforce position. Discipline is your armor. Clarity your weapon. When confronted with opposition, respond with calm precision, neutralizing aggression without escalating conflict. Let your composure demonstrate power louder than words. Every micro-action, from measured breathing to decisive speech, strengthens the lattice of influence that others instinctively respect. In this arena, fear now obeys you rather than the reverse. Every challenge becomes a training ground for sovereignty. The predator moves without hesitation. The chess master anticipates without tension. The sovereign sits without threat. Internal mastery eclipses external pressures. Your throne is unassailable because it is forged in self-command. Respect follows naturally when authority is embodied rather than demanded. Fear becomes a gauge of influence. It bends to your presence and strategy. Let ritual, reflection, and deliberate action fuse into a seamless practice of dominance. The cost of failure is clear: enslavement to anxiety, manipulation by others, and a life confined to reaction. The reward is equally tangible: a life where decisions are yours alone, respect is commanded, and influence extends without overt force. Each day, choose deliberate action, confront discomfort, and reinforce boundaries. Let every encounter, internal and external, be an exercise in assertive control. The throne is earned through consistent self-mastery, not external validation. Fear, once a tyrant, becomes a messenger and ally. Step into its power, not as a victim, but as a strategist. Own your habits, your thoughts, and your environment. Build resilience through observation, discipline, and unyielding focus. The apex is achieved when the mind, body, and presence are aligned in calculated authority. Stand unwavering, act decisively, rule internally and externally. Fear obeys me. I command my mind, my world, my throne.